Hello. Imagine graduating from high school, going straight to college at a university, and graduating 4 years later completely debt free. Sounds good, right? Well, that's exactly what would happen if we had the opportunity to attend college for free. You see, I was 15 years old when I had my first child, so going to college was the furthest thing from my mind at the time. My main focus was raising my son and getting a job to support my child. It wasn't until a few years later that I started to think about furthering my education and going to college. I knew there was no way that I could afford tuition for a university, so I enrolled in a community college and started attending Southwestern College. I attended Southwestern College for a few semesters. After a few semesters, I realized going to community college was going to take way too long to obtain a degree, and parenting, working, and going to school was a lot for me to handle, so I dropped out of school. I attempted to go back a few years later, but soon found out that I was pregnant with my second child. After I had my daughter, I knew that I would have to decide quick on what I wanted to do because I now had two kids I had to financially support. Again, I enrolled at Southwestern College and took a year-long central supply technician course, in which I completed and obtained a certificate. A week after completing the course, I accepted a job at a hospital, and I've been with the same organization for 21 years. Throughout my healthcare career, I've often thought about going back to school, especially now that my children are grown. But the thought of racking up debt has always held me back. If there was an opportunity for me to attend college for free, I probably would not have waited until I was 48 years old to go back to college. Now that you are aware of what the topic of my debate is, let me explain to you why college should be free. According to Kelly Holterman of the New York Times, in the past 3 decades, the average cost of attending a private college in the United States has tripled, landing at around $50,000 a year. That would mean if you attended a 4-year university, you would graduate with a whopping debt of $200,000. According to the Pew Research Center, $50,000 is the beginning salary of a middle-class family. So that would mean you essentially would have to direct 4 years of wages to your student loans to become debt-free. Let's be honest. I don't know anyone who could direct 4 years of wages to only their student loans, including myself. So that would mean you would be paying off your student loans for years to come. Here are a couple more reasons why college should be free. According to the College Raptor staff, the first reason is free college would improve graduation rates. If college was free, more lower income students might graduate. Some students drop out because they do not have the ability to pay tuition for all 4 years. In fact, over 50% of students drop out of public universities because they can't afford it. 79% also delay their graduations because they have to switch to part-time or return at a later date due to cost. Making college free would eliminate the reason for not graduating. This, of course, would improve college graduation rates, as fewer students would feel the need to drop to part-time status or take a break from education for financial reasons. The second reason is students would have more freedom to choose a major that they enjoy. Many students feel pressured to take certain majors, whether this comes from their parents or society. Cost no doubt plays a role. They might be worried about being able to afford student loan debt after graduation. This results in a lot of students opting for practical majors that are geared towards income rather than passion and interest. If college was free, parents and students might feel more relaxed about studying for majors that don't necessarily have a large paycheck associated with them. Interest and employment from a field study goes a long way in helping students stick with it and avoids burnout, which can also increase graduation rates. By negating the large bill of a college education, we could see an increase in the number of students able to attend college. This then creates a more well-educated workforce, a population that has better critical thinking skills, and increased innovation across a number of industries and society as a whole. Lastly, according to Stephanie Sowell of the New York Times, total undergraduate enrollment has dropped by 1.2 million students since the fall of 2019. Even before the pandemic, enrollment was declining nationally as the number of college-age students leveled off. At the same time, high tuition costs discouraged prospective domestic students, and the highly polarizing immigration debate drove away international students. The new figures show that undergraduate enrollment declined at every type of college, but public two-year universities remain the hardest hit, with the U.S. community college disproportionately hurt. Tens of thousands of students, many of them low income, were forced to delay school or drop out because of the pandemic and the economic crisis it has created. The new data showed that the students enrolled in community college was down 13.2%, or 706,000 students compared with 2019. Without a dramatic re-engagement in their education, the potential loss of these students' earnings and future is significant, which will greatly impact the nation as a whole in years to come. Thank you.